And soon enough, you'll be done with those 5 rounds as well?
Yeah. Come this Christmas, I'll be done with the 5 rounds and with all of the oral treatment as well, which it will be really exciting. So Christmas this year, I cannot wait for Christmas because that is my benchmark. And if I can make it till then and do all my treatments, I'm looking at a very high percentage chance of being able to just come in monthly for checkups to see where the cancer is at, see if it's there, see if it's in remission. So we're keeping our fingers crossed for or even better for cured for my type of cancer. My journey, but only time will tell, and I have to just take it one day at a time.
Yes, I will be praying for you for sure. I mean, you're a ray of sunshine, if that's like, it doesn't make any sense for me to say this, but you are so inspiring. I love your Instagram as well. And thank you for finding me, because I usually am very quick at it, but I had not for some reason, I sometimes also just get lost in so many things that need to happen with Mindbloom. But you found me, and we've been chatting away ever since. And it's just great to see your story and how it's developing, and how one day you're feeling better and you're feeling, it's just great. And you're always just also strengthening others with your message.
Thank you. That's my goal. It's really hard. A lot of people will say that, they'll say, oh, you're doing so well, but they don't see the reverse side of it as well, that there's a lot of challenges as well. I have a lot of anxiety and a lot of depression that comes from having cancer. I have a lot of really dark moments. And so I've had to learn to focus my energy and my time in writing in my journal and writing positive and uplifting messages. When I do feel good, it helps me mentally to continue to look at the positive, because if I stay focused on the what ifs and the things I don't have control over, like my life. Basically, it's my life. And that's a really hard thing not to have control over right now, especially during this pandemic. And the more I focus on the positive and can look to the future and look day by day and find the little instances, the smiles in my children, smiles in the nurses and the doctors that are working so hard to help me have another day. One of my favorite sayings from a patient that I met at clinic, he sadly passed away. And so that's been hard as well. But he would always tell me, Erin, you have a bonus day. What are you going to choose to do with it? Yeah. And so I look at every day as a bonus day. And so when I start to get sad or depressed or anxious, I just have to remind myself, today's a bonus day. What am I going to choose to do with it?
Would community also work as a tool for mental health for you as well? Could you tell me more about that?
Yes, definitely. Yes. My community right now for helping my mental health, it's really interesting because the nurses and the doctors at clinic, that in essence has become my second home, because I don't go anywhere. I literally stay home and go to clinic. That's where I go because my immune system is so weak and it's not there due to the cancer. And so the clinic is my community. The Lymphoma and Leukemia Society, that's my community. My community on Instagram as well, and Facebook, all of my friends, that's my community of upliftment, of love and support. And I'm so grateful to that. I could not do it without each and every one of them, especially the nurses and doctors. They work tirelessly every day for all of us. And I love seeing the other patients at clinic. I love making friends. My husband's joke is that I have a bunch of old friends.
Right.
Well, one of the youngest patients at clinic, because I'm 32, and a lot of the other patients are 60s, 70s, 80s, or older that are they're being treated for cancer. They're towards the end of their life, more so. So that's been very challenging as well, and has helped me to look at a better perspective and try to create that community and make friends there. And it really does help with my mental health, meeting them, learning about their lives and their stories. And it helps me to really reflect on how I'm treating my family and my friends and my children and my husband on a day-to-day basis, because of them and because of their stories and because of the people that they are. And so I'm so grateful for that community there at clinic. And I'm so grateful for my Instagram and Facebook community. Though everyone is so uplifting and they just send love and support. And they don't realize how much that means to me and how to take a really challenging day and turn it around for me.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can't imagine. I'm glad you have it. I'm glad you have that community. I have found mine as well in another department, but it is so uplifting, and it saves your life sometimes. Yeah. I know you have a wonderful photo shoot. I look at, it's so gorgeous. I'm going to tell the listeners, it's a photo shoot of Erin from the time she has really long, ginger, beautiful hair and then it's a photo shoot that goes through all these mohawk style haircuts and all these pixie haircuts. It's a beautiful, inspiring photo shoot, until the point you just cut your hair and you get ready for the consequences, one of the most famous and dreaded consequences of chemo. And I will put the link to this photo shoot in our in the show notes of this episode, of course. Tell us more. What gave you that idea? And
Yes. So actually, when I was in the hospital, I had a lot of time to think because I was all by myself. And a lot of cancer patients, they say that you'll lose your hair, or it'll significantly thin. And it was amazing to me how it started right away in the hospital. The second you start that chemotherapy, anytime I would take a shower and comb through my hair, it just started coming out by the brushfuls. And I thought, oh, maybe I won't lose mine. Maybe I will be different. Mm-hmm. Fighting that inner struggle that I had, because it's my beautiful long red hair. I've always been known for my long, luscious red hair. I've never colored my hair my entire life because I live in Arizona, and I would get these beautiful natural highlights from the sun, and people would say, oh, do you color your hair? Do you put highlights? And I say, no, it's just from the Arizona sun. And they'd say, oh, it's so beautiful. And I loved it. I was known for my red hair. Mm-hmm. And so when I started to lose it in the hospital, growing up, I always wanted to try coloring it, but I didn't. It always made me nervous. And so I realized that a lot of cancer patients, they would dye it fun and pink or other colors, and then they'd shave their head. And I've always wanted to see what I would look like with different hairstyles. And so I thought, I don't want to just color my hair and shave it and just do one thing. I want to see what I look like in all these different hairstyles before I say goodbye to my red hair that I've never touched or dyed or have only trimmed throughout my life. And so I decided to contact my very good friend, Elena Joy Thurston, who actually was just on your podcast just a couple weeks ago. Yeah. She is not only an amazing speaker, but she is a phenomenal photographer. And so I called her and I said, Elena, if anyone can capture my vision of what I want, what is reflecting my inner emotions and feelings, it's you through the camera lens. And so we set up I was able to go to her home. They had everything sanitized and wore masks, and we were very careful. And they hadn't, they had been in quarantine. I obviously was in quarantine. And then my really good friend who does hair, she came along. Her name is JC. And so she had also been in quarantine. So it was just basically the three of us and my husband. So the four of us. And we decided to have I decided to have some fun. And we went through each stage, and I really wanted to capture, I didn't realize that through this photo shoot, it would show so much more of my personality. I've always been an extrovert in life and have always made friends, but this really brought out my inner self and the true me. And I wasn't expecting that. We started with my long hair at first, as you'll see in the link. And as we went through each stage and they did the first cut, I just remember before JC started cutting, she said, "Okay, are you ready?" And I'd say, "Yes, I'm ready." And I just started to cry because I knew the second that she would take that first initial cut that there was no going back, that it wouldn't be immediately ever again. It would take time and growth, and it would be a journey again for me as my hair grew out. But there was hardly anything left. She did an amazing job making it look like there was hair there. I was so impressed. But because it was so thin, we were able to it would take her literally 2 minutes for every hair. It's a very quick photo shoot because I hardly had anything to work with. But we went through each one, and I remember she cut my hair, and we first did the shoulder length, and Elena was teasing because for a lot of you city people out there, she's like, "Oh, you look like a suburban mom." And I totally looked like a suburban mom that had short shoulder length hair, not much style or anything to it, and it was so hilarious. It just made me laugh, and I was like, "This is not me whatsoever."
The minivan